Today, I'd love to talk to you about a brain state that supports change. I'd love to talk to you about 4 steps that over time will permanently transform a brain through neuroplasticity. And I'd love to tell you about one magic question that's really important in making that all happen. Before I delved deeply into neuroscience, something was bothering me about my clinical work. When things were happening that were good and clients were reporting change that was really positive, that felt great to me. And it also felt accidental. Like I didn't understand what was happening in the space between us or even inside their own system that was supporting that change. And so I didn't feel like I was able to repeat it purposefully or to know what was helping, why it was helping. Once I looked deeply into the neuroscience, it felt really clear to me. This is the state of the brain that's going to be able to support this. Here are different kinds of questions we can ask to help electricity run certain places in the brain. Here are ways that are going to be really consistently helpful for a ton of people. And that's some of what I'd like to share with you. I want to tell you about a couple of different clients. One, Anne, came into me really overwhelmed. She was normally rocked and rolled by her feelings. She was normally rocked and rolled by life. She often was worried about how other people were feeling about her, what kind of behaviors they were doing. It's almost like the world hit her in a really personal way, and she was looking for help and feeling less bad. Mike, it was kind of the other extreme. He came into me and he was at his definition was a wife referral, that his wife made him come to therapy. He didn't totally understand it, but that she was describing him to him as emotionally unavailable, and she said she didn't know him. So Mike comes in and he's sitting there telling me, I don't even know what you're talking about when you're talking about tracking feelings. My life is fine. My wife just thinks that she doesn't know me, so I guess I'm here. What was funny is that both of these people were actually having the same problem, but the way they dealt with it was very different. What was going on was that in the subconscious part of their brain, they had a lot of emotions that were very big in a way that felt really scary to their system. For Anne, it showed up in a way where she was regularly overwhelmed and trying to manage that overwhelm. For Mike, he got totally cut off from his body. He didn't really feel very alive. It was really hard for him to know what he wanted or how he felt about anything. So he had done a cutoff from his feelings. But when we got to know them both, they actually had kind of similar stuff going on underneath, which is to say, really big feelings that they felt ill-equipped to regulate or to be in relationship with. One of the first things I do when I see a client who's having that issue is to notice that there's a part of your brain called the orbital, medial, prefrontal cortex. It's this part right behind the third eye position. That part of your brain, when I'm teaching about it, I like to call it the witnessing self or the witnessing mind. So the witnessing mind has the ability to actually calm down some of those feelings. And one thing that Anne and Mike had in common was they didn't actually have a way to watch their own mind. Their witnessing self really wasn't on board or accessible to them, and certainly not on purpose. And so I knew, oh, it would be helpful if both of these clients were able to access that part of their brain with more purpose and with more ease.